It's a little cold out tonight. The format that these videos are going to end up taking are just like short, almost thought diaries. Like, not really like a diary of like what I've been doing today, but more of like what I've been thinking today. So today's topic is existentialism. So I was watching this video by a YouTuber called Bad Empanada, and he is pretty unapologetic about his sort of like anti-American views, and the subject was the military, and it made me think about, the more you dive deeper into, I guess, leftism, deconstructing the idea of the state, you come to realize that a lot of things that kind of society presupposes are all illusions, I guess. I'm gonna stand over here. I guess, like, even just this idea of, like, honoring our veterans is kind of weird if you think about it. Verifiably, these people have not been doing the greatest of things. You know, we seem to not really make excuses for cops, right? Like, all cops are bastards, but for veterans, it's a different story. And I think his video did a really good job of pointing out this, and, like, that we say, like, oh, you know, they didn't have a choice. They, you know, they had to pay for college and stuff like that, but do you kill people for your own future, or do you flip burgers? And I guess one seems a little bit, I don't know, it seems like a weird comparison to make, and I thought that at first too, like you can't really expect to hold everyone to the highest moral, like, standard. And obviously I think that he fails to recognize the kind of effectiveness of the hegemony at work there, right? Like, you have society set up in a way so that nasty things like that are seen as desirable to want to go out and do, right? You know, kill some brown people in the Middle East. Not something that you could get me to willingly sign up for, but I guess when you attach a certain social status to it, almost, and I guess when your other options are pretty mundane in comparison, they're able to sell a pretty glorious image of war, and especially to young people. That's why they come to our high school. I guess what all this is getting at is that everything really down to the core of the American system is, like, really fucked. And I guess it really hit me today. Like, really hit me. And with, you know, the Donald Trump incoming into the White House, things are scary for people like me. Probably people like you. Part of me wants to revel in it, like the way that I think that the illusions might start to crumble. But seemingly, it doesn't always seem to be the case with Trump. You'd think that, you know, people would see some things for what they are, but when lies are told so effectively, like over the years of perfecting, I guess, this idea of like the leader, the head of the state, it's all just a grand distraction, I guess. Maybe I'll be throwing up some images of different things that I think are worthy of worry. I feel like sort of the humanity is kind of grinded out of us when we stare into this, like, monolith of the depravity of the state and the depravity of what humans will do for power. Evidently so, yeah. Still the one take wonder, I'm cold. In that, I guess, existential dread and fear that everything that is constructed around us doesn't really matter, and the meaning that it is assigned to it is kind of, has some problems in its underlying assumptions. It's a terrifying thought. It really, I think, is one of the closest things that you can come to true, like, Lovecraftian horror. Like, ooh, it's cold. Like, everything around you is kind of this, like, lie. It's very scary. and can deter a lot of people. I feel like there's two options that young people like me have is to either like give up and just pretend everything's normal and embrace kind of like this absurdism that you can see in like brain rot and like net spend, I guess, which is beautiful in a way. Just absurdity. There's the other option, which is despair, because it seems as though the train that is flying down the train tracks into the group of grazing cattle we did not install brakes on this train. So yeah, either absurd acceptance or nihilistic despair seem to be my two options, and I don't quite like that. I guess that concludes my the thinkings that have been thought on. It's currently like 9 o'clock. I'm tired. I woke up at 5 this morning. Good night. Cold.